Hello everyone, so I'm Emily Ribeiro and today I'm going to present about the Socialist Party during the revolutionary period in Portugal. So from 1974 to 1976. So in the context of the Cold War, socialism was often understood through two dominant models: Soviet-style communism in Eastern Europe and social democratic reformism in Western Europe. However, the Portuguese Revolution in April 25, 1974, and the subsequent revolutionary period lasting until 1976 offer a unique case that does not fully align with either models. It has its own way. After nearly 50 years of authoritarian rule under the Estado Novo, which started in 1933 and ended in 1974, Portugal entered the revolutionary phase, marked not only by a transition toward democracy but also by a profound rethinking of its social and economic structures. Between 1974 and 1976, during the Processo Revolucionário em Curso, so PREC, socialist ideas rapidly became central to both political discourse and practice. Yet, this socialism was neither unified nor clearly defined, but emerged through a dynamic process involving popular mobilization, institutional reform, and political negotiation. So this brings us to the question, how was socialism redefined during the Portuguese Revolution? So first, we're going to see the popular and revolutionary form of this socialist party in Portugal in its first era. So the revolutionary context of 1974 created fertile ground for the rapid emergence of socialist ideas. Portugal remained largely rural and underdeveloped, marked by strong inequalities and the economic burden of colonial wars since 1961. Combined with severe political repression under the PIDE, so PIDE, the context generated both a demand for political freedom and for deep structural change. In this context, socialism became a dominant political language. As Kenneth Maxwell notes, previously repressed political actors quickly gained visibility and legitimacy. The revolutionary period also led to intense social mobilization. Workers, students, and other groups actively participated in political life, contributing to the spread of socialist ideas. Most importantly, socialism took concrete form through radical reforms. In 1975, large-scale nationalization affected key sectors such as banking and industry, while agrarian reform led to land occupation in regions like Alentejo. Workers also organized committees and participated in workplace management. This form of socialism was therefore driven by popular mobilization and direct action rather than a current institutional framework, making it both transformative and unstable. So to illustrate my thoughts, I chose this picture that you can see on the bottom left of the slide, which was taken by the photograph Nelson Garrido, where you can see the Portuguese lifestyle of most of the family during the Estado Novo, which is the dictatorship of Salazar. So you can see that it's primarily agrarian, working on the fields, and really not industrialized. Okay, so now we're gonna see how this socialist party became to be democratic and institutionalized. So while the early phase was marked by radical practices, a more structured form of socialism gradually emerged, particularly through the action of Mário Soares and the drafting of the 1976 Constitution. Mário Soares, leader of the Socialist Party and a key figure of the anti-dictatorial opposition, redefined socialism within a democratic framework. He emphasized political pluralism, free elections, and national unity, presenting socialism as compatible with democratic institutions. By framing Portugal as entering a European moment, he also aligned Portuguese socialism with Western European social democracy, rather than more radical models. This redefinition was institutionalized in the 1976 Constitution, while Article 10 refers to building a socialist society, and Article 9 emphasizes social transformation. These objectives are embedded within a democratic framework based on pluralism and the rule of law. Article 80 further reflects a mixed system combining public, private, and cooperative sectors. This indicates that Portuguese socialism took the form of a hybrid system balancing social transformation with democratic stability. So also here you can see the picture. So this is a picture taken of Mario Soares. And so now we can go on and look at the tensions and negotiation that ended in the Portuguese Socialist Party as we know it. So despite these developments, the revolutionary period remained marked by tensions and competing interpretation of socialism. A key tension opposed grassroots revolutionary socialism based on worker control and rapid change to more institutional approaches seeking stability through political and legal structures. The year 1975 marked a critical moment. With the political instability, mass demonstrations, and fears of civil conflict, showing that socialism was not a unified project, but a contested field. Regional differences reinforced this fragmentation, with the South more receptive to radical reforms, and the North more resistant because more bourgeois. So the MFA also played a central and ambiguous role, acting both as a driver of transformation and a stabilizing force. So the MFA stands for Movimento das Forças Armadas, so which is the movement of the armed force, and was constituted by the army, but only the part of the army which come from the lower and middle classes of society. And this is the party who actually made the coup to take the power from Marcelo Caetano, which was the representative of the Estado Novo in 1974. So these elements show that socialism in Portugal was not a fixed model, but a concept shaped through conflicts and negotiation. So to illustrate that, I choose this poster of propaganda by the MFA, so the Movimento de Forças Armadas, which it is written MFA Povo, and Povo means the people. And in this picture you can see a representation of an agricultural worker, which represent the people, so the Povo of Portugal in the situation of the post-revolution, so it's still in an agrarian society. And on his right you can see a man from the military, which represent the MFA, coming here to help the people of Portugal to be liberated and to gain freedom. And so I think that is pretty representative, because this is the general ideal and message that is given by the MFA. And so by this shift of political regime in Portugal to this revolution, because yes, you have an ideal which is pretty socialist, but in the same way, and even in the MFA, as between communism and socialism in Portugal, it was different branches of this ideology who finished by being shaped by the presidents of Mario Soares, so putting actually socialism in this way through a democratic regime and not a revolutionary one. So to conclude, the Portuguese Revolution did not produce a single coherent model of socialism, but a plurality of interpretations, from revolutionary practices to institutional frameworks. While the early phase was marked by radical mobilization, these dynamics was gradually reshaped through political conflict and institutional development. The result was not the abandonment of socialism, but its transformation into a more moderate and democratic form. Ultimately, the Portuguese case showed that socialism is not a fixed ideology at all, but a flexible and contested set of ideas. It also raises a broader question about European socialism. To what extent can socialism remain transformative while being integrated into democratic institutions? So I chose this picture, so I didn't find the name of the photograph, but I know that this picture is taken during a socialist manifestation in 1974, so during the revolutionary period. And I feel like you can feel the importance of these political moments in the sights of the persons you see in this picture. Well, thank you for listening to me. Here is my bibliography, so you can see that I've used some discourse speeches of Mario Soares, but also some laws about the private properties and the Constitution of the Portuguese Republic of 1976, as well as Kenneth Maxwell, The Making of Portuguese Democracy, which is a secondary source, whereas the other were all primary one, and also a media article of Al Jazeera, No Turning Back, Her Nation Revolution Divides Portugal Again 50 Years On. Thank you.